3, question 11 gives you 4 components to distribution channel. We know that the manufacturer sells for $100 and takes a 20% margin. In this case, I've just set it up so that we're going this way in the chain. It's exactly the same thing. As long as you set yourself up properly, you're fine. The wholesaler takes a 25% markup. The distributor takes a 30% margin. And the retailer takes a 40% margin. Make sure you jot down whether we're talking about margin or markup. We want to know the final selling price to the end consumer, so this box here in red. Okay, so now we need to work our way up the chain, going this way to figure out the final answer. So we know if the manufacturer sells for 100, that's what the wholesaler will end up paying, therefore that's their variable cost. So in this case, we actually didn't even need that piece of information. The wholesaler takes a 25% markup, meaning that this number here is 25% of your variable cost, or in other words, $25. Therefore, the wholesaler's selling price must be $125. That flips over to the distributor's variable cost. The wholesaler is selling to the distributor, therefore the distributor's variable cost is their selling price. In this case, the distributor is taking a 30% margin. So a couple ways of solving this. Again, just to remain consistent, I've told you to flip margin into a markup when you have variable cost, which is 30 divided by 70, or 42.9%. Multiplying 42.9% by your variable cost will give you a unit margin of $54. Adding those two numbers together, we've got a selling price of $179. The distributor's selling price becomes the retailer's variable cost, so we flip that number over, 179, and calculate the retailer's margin. We know a 40% margin is a 66.7% markup. So when you multiply your markup by your variable cost, it's going to give you your unit margin, in this case of $119. Adding those two numbers together, you get a total selling price of $298. There's your retailer selling price and the answer to the question.